stars scraped the heavens and neon lights painted the night, there lived a young woman named Sarah. She was not a stranger to struggle, for she had shouldered the weight of her family's dreams and expectations ever since she could remember. Sarah's father had been an immigrant who arrived in this vast and unforgiving city with a heart full of hope and dreams. He worked tirelessly as a janitor, earning a meager wage, and his ambition burned brightly for a better life. He was determined that his children would not face the hardships he had endured. He pushed Sarah to study relentlessly, believing education was the key to success. As she grew older, the expectations mounted. She felt the heavy weight of her father's unfulfilled dreams resting on her shoulders. The pressure to excel in school was suffocating, and she often felt like she was on the verge of crumbling under its immense weight. Her friends enjoyed their carefree youth, but she spent her days and nights buried in textbooks and notes. One evening, as the city's skyline shimmered with the promise of endless possibilities, Sarah gazed out of her small apartment window. She was tired of living a life filled with struggle and sacrifice. She yearned for a life of her own, to chase her own dreams, but she couldn't bear the thought of disappointing her father. As the years passed, Sarah's father's health began to decline. The long hours of work, combined with his unfulfilled dreams, took a toll on him. He spent most of his days confined to a worn-out armchair, watching the world outside through the window with a deep sense of longing. It was as if he had given up on his own aspirations, transferring them entirely to Sarah. One evening, he beckoned her to sit beside him. The dimly lit room was filled with the silence of unspoken dreams and unshed tears. With a trembling voice he said, "Sarah, I've sacrificed so much for you and your siblings. I've given up my dreams so that you can achieve yours. Promise me. Promise that you'll succeed where I could not." Tears welled up in Sarah's eyes as she nodded her head, her heart heavy with guilt. She could not bear to see her father's eyes fill with unfulfilled hopes, so she pushed herself even harder in her studies. She graduated at the top of her class and secured a well-paying job at a prestigious company, all while secretly nurturing a passion for painting that had been buried deep within her for years. But success came at a steep price. The endless hours at the office left her drained, her personal life non-existent. She never had time to explore her creative side, and the burden of responsibility only grew heavier. Sarah felt like a prisoner, bound by the chains of expectations and obligations. One day, while on her way to work, Sarah passed a small art gallery that had just opened in a quiet corner of the city. The sight of vibrant colors and imaginative creations on display stirred something deep within her. She decided to step inside, and as she gazed at the paintings, a sense of liberation washed over her. In that moment, she realized that her father's dreams and her own did not have to be mutually exclusive. She began to paint in her free time, finding solace and inspiration in every stroke of the brush. Her art became an escape from the pressures of her corporate job, and it breathed life into her weary soul. Sarah's paintings captured the essence of her struggles, the emotions she had kept hidden for so long. They were her silent cries for freedom. Sarah's artwork began to gain recognition, and she received offers to showcase her paintings in various galleries. As her passion grew, she finally mustered the courage to share her true desires with her father. Expecting disappointment, she was met with unexpected support. Her father smiled, a tear glistening in his eye, and said, "I've realized that I can't live my dreams through you. I want you to live your own dreams, Sarah. Don't carry my burdens on your shoulders. Find your own path to happiness." With her father's blessing, Sarah decided to leave her corporate job and pursue her artistic career. It wasn't an easy decision, and there were still struggles along the way. But she was finally free to chase her own dreams and redefine success on her terms. The burden of dreams that had weighed down Sarah's life for so long had finally lifted. She learned that the struggles people face are often a result of the expectations they carry, whether their own or those imposed upon them by others. True happiness and fulfillment can only be found when one dares to follow their own path, unburdened by the weight of unfulfilled dreams. In the end, Sarah realized that her journey was not just about overcoming struggles, but also about discovering her true self and the beauty that lay within her soul. It was a reminder that no matter the obstacles we face, the pursuit of our own dreams is worth the effort and the sacrifices it entails.